Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Banter with the Brothers FC World Cup edition. Alongside Jevy, alongside Carl. We here, one brother short, but hey, we rocking with him in spirit. He with us, it's been a crazy World Cup. Crazy World Cup. Probably the craziest one in our lifetime. Um,
Yeah, that's true.
I'm
I would say.
willing. Had upsets like no other. Actually, another thing we'll probably get to a little bit later is just are these upsets good for the tournament? But we kind of want to recap how we did first. Let's go ahead and go back over some of our predictions. I think first quarterfinal game was Netherlands USA. Jevy, you want to go ahead and take us through what I think the consensus pick was?
Well, shout out to Vicky. I know he's not here tonight, but he was, about to put $50 on the USA. Carl told him, "Yo, listen, I
I'm still mad
give
I
me
didn't
the
get my
$50.
50, bro. That gas
Give me
money.
give me the 50. Let me bet it elsewhere." But I think the consensus of everybody was, you know, this is where the American dream ends. You feel me? Um, so yeah. In
Actually,
the wake of all of that, the UFC owner, right? Just want to touch on this because he's American. Said that while I might not disagree about hockey being one of the most skilled sports, he's saying you don't have to be skilled to play our sport. So one thing I want to tell him,
you should have told him to stop smoking that dust. Like,
Facts.
nah, facts. He's smoking something crazy.
but
Crazy.
And just to go to show you, this is why I reiterate this point. Once Americans learn how to love this game and stop disrespecting it, you will never win it. And this is one thing you can't be the biggest and fastest at because it doesn't matter in this sport. So, but yes, the consensus of what would happen here is that Netherlands would move on. That's what happened. I think it was pretty comfortable for them. The USA got a little. Was it Haji Wright that scored some type
Yeah,
of like
Haji Wright. I don't even know how.
goal?
I don't know if
Bro,
Haji Wright knows how he scored that, but
fluke
he
goal,
scored.
but
Yeah.
it happened. They thought it was gonna rally, but then the game got buried.
can I
And
ask a quick
that was that.
question to both of y'all
Yeah.
though? Would y'all say that U.S. soccer is progressing? And would
Definitely.
you say that this is probably the most that U.S. soccer has progressed in a while? Because I actually had this conversation yesterday with someone where they said maybe like I think it was like a decade or two ago that team was probably the best U.S. team of all time. But I
Mhm.
think that this one, with the talent, once they grow and kind of, get older, they could progress and be probably the best U.S. soccer team in history. What do y'all?
Definitely.
What's y'all takes on that? Because I don't know.
They have the ability to because I think in 2002, USA upset
Made
a
the
few
quarterfinals.
teams and they made to the quarterfinals. The World Cup in South Africa they did well as well. They made it to
Yeah.
quarterfinals as well.
Nah,
So
did they make the
that was
quarterfinals
a
of the World
knockout.
Cup?
What did a knockout round when they beat Algeria? Or Landon Donovan scored that goal.
But that was
Which
to send us, I think, to the knockout round. I don't know if that
okay, either
was.
way,
Yeah.
it's been the past 8 years haven't been great for the USA men's
Perfect.
national
Yeah.
team.
Hold on, we made it to the quarterfinals once.
In 2002, yeah, they beat Mexico
Oh,
in round of 16, which
That
is
was
crazy
that
when you
was
think
that
about it.
was that was
yeah.
Japan and Korea World Cup.
Yeah. Had to
That's
wake
when
up
Brazil
early to
lost.
watch them games.
Nah, facts. That's when Brazil last won the World Cup.
Yeah.
That,
Um, to touch on a point, Carl, that you asked, I think this is definitely the most talented U.S. team. I think the thing I like the most about this U.S. team is that they're all young and they're all challenging themselves. I think a decade ago, a lot of these players would have just stayed kind of playing in the U.S. and it would have been comfortable for them. They would have been the best players in the league. They would have known, all right, I'm at home. It's comfortable. It's easy for me. But a lot of these guys have gone to different leagues, different countries,
mm,
and that the knowledge you pick up, obviously everyone's like, oh, US, there's not so much knowledge in the game in the US. But I think more than anything, I think um, learning of different cultures and how different cultures see the game only benefits the US national team even more. Because then you get a bunch of guys with different thoughts and ideas into the team. And that only helps the team instead of everyone playing in a domestic league, which is part of the problem, I think, with England. But that's another topic for another day.
because that's the argument I kind of piggybacked on is that everyone's now going overseas, and I said like the MLS is more of like the G League versus going overseas. It's like actually being in the NBA.
For sure. I think the thing that's also helping the league though is that the MLS teams are getting a lot better. and they're getting a lot better, mostly at developing players. And I think that's
Right.
the way forward. Is like these are MLS academies like are very good. From like when I was a kid, the system is completely different. You know, like I'm jealous of these kids that they get to play in this system because it's a lot more organized. It's a lot more professional. There's still a lot of flaws, and I'm not about to say that the system is
Right.
perfect, but it's a lot better than what it was, and they're seeing the results of it now.
True.
That was it. That was all I had to ask.
Yeah, no, it's Jeff. You had said something too before that made me think. Which one? R.I.P. to Grant Wall.
Yeah.
He's a
R.I.P.
phenomenal voice in American soccer that has been lost.
That's a fact.
There was something he had said. When you were talking about Dana White, this is what it was. The UFC president saying that soccer is so easy. And Grant Wall, like there was an old article he had said when he was like first starting to write, and I was going through like a lot of old articles he wrote, and just kind of like appreciating his work. And one of the things he said was, Americans don't love soccer because we don't dominate it yet on the men's side, which is why, and that's true. Like most Americans love sports that we dominate. And when the U.S. men's soccer team becomes a dominant force, which they have every resource, everything available to them to become that dominant force, then I think we'll see that change. And people like Dana White with that stupid ass opinion of his will shut the fuck up, hopefully for good. But we'll see.
My question is, do y'all see it ever becoming a dominant sport in the U.S. though?
No,
Definitely.
my I don't see it anytime soon. I think it's like our kids may change that because of how we view the game and how we love the game. So maybe if they could, like, if they get mad, like if your whole week could be ruined by a game, that's when you're gonna start thinking like, okay, these kids, they're gonna at a different level. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I feel like. Oh, sorry, Jeffrey. Go ahead, finish. My fault. I mean, cut you off.
Yeah. That was basically my whole point. Once you get to that level of love and want to like just play, you know what I'm saying, and not just. I think a lot of people that are playing now are playing for like Instagram, not just for the love of the game. So I see once we as a country get to appreciate better and move better and stop looking down at it, because I know Thierry Henry was on the Red Bull podcast thing the other day with a couple of his former teammates, and this was one of the points he made. He was like, people think the game is so easy, but when you pass a ball diagonally like 30, 40 yards, that's not something easy to do. And you hit it with the right amount of weight, and then the person controls it the correct way. It's like poetry in motion, but people make it look. Sometimes something happen on soccer field make it look easy. You're like, yo, bro, that is not an easy skill. You got to be so coordinated. You got to be so in tune with what you're doing. There's so much happening, and because we're so like drilled and it's so natural for us sometimes. Even asking someone to kick the ball, they look crazy kicking it.
Goofy.
If you never played, you look goofy as hell. So I just think once we get to a point where the love it's like spread right across the board, then we'll be like, all right, cool.
I agree. I think once the love is there, only thing I disagree is I think it'll be a little sooner than our kids being, maybe our age now. I think we're seeing in the game so many like kids just loving it. Like it's so much more accessible now, like 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Actually, I'll go more than 10 years ago. 20 years ago, I'll say. It was very hard to watch them. Like if you wanted to watch a game, it was hard to find. You either had to have cable, you had to know somebody who had some sort of bootleg stream. It's so accessible now for kids that it's like these kids have. I see kids the other day. Probably it was a couple months ago when the Serie A season ended. I was going around, and I literally the day of, there was a group of kids rocking like AC Milan jerseys, and then there was another kid wearing like a Venezia jersey, which like I understand obviously like
that jersey's tough. Like,
it's tough, it's a fashion statement, but at the same time, like I'm like, okay, the kids aren't just supporting the Premier League teams because that's on TV the most. Like now Serie A obviously is on TV more, but like even just seeing teams like that, seeing like French teams, seeing kids will support all types of teams. I see Dortmund jerseys obviously because there's Americans there, but like I think the game is growing very fast, and I think when the World Cup comes here in 2026,
we'll get a good.
It's gonna go crazy after that.
Yes. I'll get my tickets as soon as they available. My black.
Facts. Save up because these tickets gonna be crazy.
You're only gonna be able to afford one game, bro.
Yeah, but I'm gonna make sure it's a good one though, and I'm gonna enjoy the hell out of that shit. Moving on from the USA Netherlands quarterfinal. The second quarterfinal was let me see. Was it Argentina that played the second World Cup?
On that side?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm going by that. Yeah, it was Argentina-Denmark was the second one. We as a group called Argentina over Denmark. We all got that right.
Wait. Did Denmark make it out the group?
No, this was predictions. No, Denmark didn't make it out the group. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong bracket. It was Argentina-Australia.
Right.
That's who made out that group. Thank you for catching that.
Yeah.
And Argentina, we all took unanimous Argentina over.
Yes, they made it through. And luckily enough, it almost went to extra time. That that? I can't remember the guy's name. The black guy, the young black kid on Australia had a chance, and Emi Martinez saved it.
I almost said the young black guy on Argentina. We know they don't got that.
Yeah. You don't got none of them over there. We ain't gonna talk about that, but go look up your history.
Yeah. The next round of 16 match was Japan Croatia. That was a good one.
That was a good game.
The penalty shootout, Japan going to go back in.
For a set of people that are so disciplined, they didn't practice penalties at all, huh?
It was just it was weird to see.
Shaq tweeted like they kick the ball like they how they are as a person. They're so like nice, like stop being nice with the ball.
Respectful,
Like you know what I'm saying? So that. But I would tell you one thing. That was a very, very good game. Very tactical, very entertaining. A lot going on. And Croatia, with their experience, all over the field, they made it through.
Mm-hmm.
Quick question. Just with y'all as soccer players, do y'all practice the free kicks like how basketball players do free throws?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Especially if you're someone that's taking them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you're the set piece taker, you practice those things. But yeah.
Definitely. And I think usually you have after practice, it's like after practice, it's similar to basketball with free throws.
Yeah.
Funny enough, actually, Jebby, to go back to another point you had made before about Thierry Henry talking about how certain things just are made to look easy. That's another thing, Carl. Is for example, there's certain basketball players, when Steph Curry takes a free throw or even shoots a three, it looks so effortless. But it's
shooting it the most.
Yes, it's hundreds of thousands of hours of practice, so that's in any sport, it's that's why I hate when people disrespect something of this is easy, this sport is easy. Anybody doing any sport professionally, that shit is not easy. Yeah.
I seen a quote going around on the internet. It's I don't want to butcher it, but it was something along the lines of the difference between a professional and an amateur. An amateur do it until they get good at it, and a professional do it until they can't mess it up. So that's the same type of concept we're going at here when we're talking about practicing these things. People just, you get to a certain level, you're good, but you're still not professional. To get to that level, you have to be super consistent and just want to be good at it, not just, perfect the craft.
Facts. Other quarterfinal, or not quarterfinal, other round of 16 matchup, Brazil on this half of the bracket was Brazil, South Korea. The Brazilians, boy, they brought the heat out to South Korea. They really didn't. They were not playing with them, huh?
Yeah, they were cooking early on.
Yep.
They were cooking, and it was a game we saw Neymar make his comeback.
Yeah.
You could obviously tell he was still kind of taking his time, and he didn't really need to do too much. But the Brazilians came to cook. Paqueta, and I love the vibes because whenever Paqueta scores, he just ready to dance.
I love the dancing. Unlike Roy Keane, we like the celebration.
That's what I was about to say. This was the You Got Served game. This was the You Got Served game where they just kept dancing.
They did it for Lil Saint. They was really out
there. Yeah.
That's the thing. Oh, go ahead.
You know what I saw the other leading up to all of this.
Mm-hmm.
I seen a clip of someone describing the the way Brazilians play, you know, and just black players in general. Like they back in the day, they got little protection in their country when they were playing, so they had to be so skillful on the ball. So that's why they do all these tricks and flicks because the ref wouldn't call the game for them, so they had to use ways to evade defenders. And I thought that was so interesting, you know, like
I saw this on TikTok.
I was like, wow, you know. But obviously, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't do my sources and whatnot. But I don't think homie had no reason to be lying. But I'm gonna go look that up. But I thought it was really interesting.
It is interesting because when you think about, like, for example, like some of the best early players, like Pelé, a young black kid from Brazil. Garrincha was like, I guess what would you call him? Like mix, like Brazilian.
He's black too.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, these guys really weren't getting that protection, but I think it was just, especially when you play other South American countries, like, you know, the game in South America is rough and tough. Like, ain't no room for being soft out there. Like, which really will let you know.
Yeah, I think the surroundings really help those players, and it's a beautiful thing, man.
Definitely. Let's move to the other half of the bracket. We had England versus Senegal. I really, really wish we had seen. I wish we had seen Senegal with Sadio Mane this tournament.
Yeah, because I think also Senegal is well driven and organized, and they're threatening you from both sides. You know, Sarr and Mane would have been an interesting dynamic for people because Mane is giving you so much more, and Sarr's constantly running at people, and it you know we obviously missed something for him not being there, but nevertheless I think Senegal are representing themselves well without their talisman, you know.
Definitely. Unfortunately, England are a better side. I mean, so it goes, you know.
Star boy.
Yo, Saka was balling for England this tournament. I can't say.
Oh, is that who they be calling Starboy?
Yeah.
I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. That boy was hooping.
Come on, man.
That boy was hooping.
That boy was hooping.
Nah, Saka's cold, bro. Saka's cold. I gotta respect the game. Other semifinal. What am I saying? Other round of 16. France versus Poland. Yo, Poland really could have got packed up early. Like I'm happy France got rid of them because they were so boring to watch.
Yeah, they weren't very great, but I'll give a quick shout out to Wojciech Szczesny because he was amazing.
Yo,
tournament.
Facts.
Yeah, he was really good. It's
interesting though because I don't know if he'll get keeper of the tournament though, because
I don't believe he will because Morocco goalkeeper's been pretty good.
That's true.
Emi Martinez has been good when needed. I hate him and I don't hate him. You know, like I hate him, but I respect him.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. But
100%.
Nevertheless, he I don't know. I just want to give a quick shout out. But France just keep rolling through, man. Like Alabama, the roll tide. Just keep rolling through, my boy.
Yeah, thanks. And then we had
hold on.
Yeah.
Mbappe now.
Killy.
He will score, yeah. He will score, yeah. Yo, shout out to Daniel Sturridge.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, his World Cup reviews have been amazing. Sidebar, but yeah, that's.
No, that's
man,
fine.
remix the popcorn. That's cold. Okay, so the next next round of 16 game
was Spain Morocco. This was the one that had us. I think we were the most conflicted on.
Divided in here because you at first was trying to let's go Morocco, let's go Africa, blah blah blah. Right?
Yeah.
And I was telling y'all like, yo, this Spain team, they not doing much, bro, because I see Morocco threatening them, winning, and going to score. So does Schindler. Shaq said Spain. Nick said Spain. Before I get into call decision, but Victor also said. Me and Schindler said Morocco. Victor said Spain. Oh yeah. So what happened was you were Morocco, AB, and at the last second you kind of left the ship, So,
damn, I can't believe that.
That España pack would get smoked on. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. They put him in that
straight out of Madrid.
That hashish.
Yeah. Put him in the hashish real talk. Had the shisha blowing over there.
Right. And
Yeah,
then
so I thought that game was super entertaining though, man,
no,
because Spain wasn't able to break down Morocco, but also Morocco was so deadly going forward. And let me tell you, shout out to Soufiane Boufal, because if you ever seen someone get crossed up on a soccer field, you need to go watch the highlights of the Spain and Morocco game and watch Soufiane Boufal. What number is where? 8 or something?
17, 17.
17?
Yeah.
He's on the left side, okay, of the guys wearing red. And let me tell you, he done. You know what it looked like? He looked like a football play. When you juke somebody, that's exactly what he looked like. That man brought that man to do salsa, merengue, tango, all of that. A little bit of bachata, you know what I'm saying?
Damn.
And he a quick little two-step. He went this way, that way, and let him back there. Had that
Packed
man
him
on
up.
skates, man. Packed him up. Sent him out to Tenerife on that island by himself.
Which way, the wrong way?
Yes, he had this man looking the entire other direction, Carl.
Damn.
Yeah, we got to find a clip for that, man.
Yeah,
that shit
facts.
crazy.
But let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling because we're getting closer on time. So we're going into the quarterfinals. First quarterfinal was the Dutch versus the Argentines. Argentina came out on top of that one. Crazy comeback in that game. Really thought the Dutch were going to end up, pulling that off after that comeback, but wasn't to be.
Yeah, a lot of shaky calls in that game. Not for nothing. Messi should have had a red card, 2 yellows. There was
Paredes too.
Paredes should have had a red card. There were so many cards in that game. 17, in fact. World Cup record. I think that might be a game record, if I'm not mistaken. Like the game we actually seen on TV, that has to be a record. But
it's crazy that the Argentinian players were like, "Yo, the ref was against us." I was like, I don't know if anybody else besides y'all thinks that. But
that game went to penalties, no?
Yeah, and Emi Martinez stepped up.
Yeah, Emi Martinez, I don't condone talking shit to people that are like ill or whatnot, but I will give him some respect, because if you talk shit and you're able to back it up, you have all of my respect.
All you can do.
That you have all my respect. As much as I don't like him because of what he said when he left Arsenal and whatnot, but bro, I have to respect it. He is super confident within himself. I seen it in, Copa America a couple years ago. What was that, last year?
Last year they won it. Yeah.
It's COVID times crazy.
Right.
And he was doing the same thing versus Colombia. You know what I'm saying? Saving all them penalties, saying, "Yo, I know what side you're going." Like, bro, So I respect it. But Argentina got lucky.
They did, but hey, so it goes. The other quarterfinal, which was the big shock, and kind of robbed us of All South American semifinal, which would have been one for the ages, was Croatia-Brazil. Did not see Brazil going out. This is the other quarterfinal that really, really busted our bracket.
Our bracket was done after this because nobody saw Croatia going through. Not one of us.
Yeah, I had Brazil winning the whole tournament. So at that point,
yeah, you and I both. At that point, I was tired.
Yeah, it was over for me. So
y'all see the GIF where they had they was throwing breadcrumbs and the Brazilian team was dancing, picking them up.
Oh, doing the dodo dance or whatever they call it.
Yeah, because when they celebrate, they was doing that dance. Yeah, that joint is hilarious. They had Luka Modric feeding that man breadcrumbs. Looking like some pigeons up there.
Thanks.
Yeah, the internet is undefeated, bro. I think I don't like the way Croatia is super pragmatic when they go about trying to win a game, but I also have to respect that because they had a game plan, they stuck to it, and got it done. One thing I would like to point out though, I need the Martinelli disrespect to stop. If I'm being honest, you feel me?
Modric disrespect, you said?
Martinelli disrespect.
Oh, Martinelli.
Because
what disrespect is he getting?
Not playing him in that game.
Bro, come on. You would have played him over Rodrigo? Hold
on. He could have. Bro, Anthony got way too much time on that field. So this is what I'm saying. You want someone to. What he showed in the game before alone should be giving him more minutes than Anthony.
It's different profiles. That's what it is.
Now here's different profiles, but bro, you take off Vinny, you put on Rodrigo, cool. You take off Richarlison, you put on Pedro, cool. You keep taking people off, and I'm
He took
like, yo,
Rafinha
bro,
off. He took Rafinha off for Anthony, which is
Anthony, yeah,
like for like. Again, he just the problem was every substitution he made was like for like.
yeah, but none of these people are attacking these defenders, bro.
I could see your argument, and you could say Rodrigo plays on the right for Real Madrid. Maybe move him to the right, bring on Martinelli, move him to the left. Then you change the profile. But hindsight is 2020.
Bro, what did he not show out enough? Because I thought he was really good.
No, I thought he was good. Trust me, I have
time
no
he got
reason
the
to pick
ball,
him
he
up. I thought he
threatened,
was
bro.
good.
Yeah, but that was my only gripe with
Chichi.
Chichi. Yeah, so like, I ain't. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Yeah.
Other quarterfinal, England France. The English really Harry Kane pull the Spurs.
Can't help himself.
Can't take the man out of Spurs. Can't take the Spurs out of the man. His record in big matches really. Some questions are being raised.
Yeah, the only big game he actually scored in is North London Derby, but like, there's nothing to be won in that game. You know, like there's nothing on the line but like pride and like whatever. And he's not home playing this game, so he probably ain't gonna win it. Yeah, there was a lot of. But I think there was a lot of like mental games there because him and Lloris are club teammates. I'm sure like when they have multiple penalties, they talk about like, yo, listen, what you think I should do? I know goalkeepers talk with strikers about these things and what you think the other goalkeeper gonna be thinking. Now, because of those conversations, he's all the way up here. Bro, do the same thing you did before. Just put it in the corner.
Did he go left on the first penalty though? He went left on the first.
Left, then went try to go right the next side, but he kicked it over the bar.
That's right. Also,
vice versa.
I think hindsight is 2020. I mean, obviously hindsight. I know hindsight is 2020. But one thing that surprised me was having one player take the same penalty twice. But that just goes to show Harry Kane's greediness, because nobody else on that field was going to take that penalty if Harry Kane was on the field. He wouldn't have let anybody else take that penalty. But realistically, you shouldn't, especially if it's your club teammate who's in net for the other team.
Yeah.
Take one, have somebody else go up. They had multiple other players who on that field who could have taken the second penalty.
True. Oh, they was on the same team?
Yes.
So the goalie already knew.
Exactly. And so that's what Jerry's saying. Like, it's mind game. So now you're in your head, you're overthinking it. And then he goes and sends the other one up into that shit might still be orbiting right now. Like, we don't know.
I think it just passed Jupiter not too long ago. That's the
it might leave the Big Dipper by the end of the week. Like, it's moving.
Can we just say though that France put Starboy with the moon rock in the blunt? Is that a thing?
Yeah, but listen, bro. Honestly, Carl. Yeah, France is just really like that. Also, I think Southgate shouldn't have took Saka off. I don't know what kind of substitution that is.
Saka was the most dangerous player, so that was it. That was an interesting substitution.
It was dumb.
Was it? Do you think it was because he was younger, and they kind of did like a age thing, or do you think?
No, because they kept Foden on for a little bit longer, and Foden's about the same age as him, if not maybe a little bit younger.
Foden is about 2 years older than Saka.
He's 2 years older than Saka. I don't know that.
Saka's 19.
Saka ain't 19. Saka like 20
something.
He's 19.
He's 19 or just turned 20.
The reason I know this, AB, is because
AB, yep.
It's because I got Enzo.
I call him Starboy.
I got Enzo as my rookie of the tournament, so I was really excited when England lost because Saka was blowing them out by like I think he had like 2 extra goals or something like that.
Listen here, Carl.
Yeah.
Listen here. I know you might have be betting on that, but
Saka's 21. He was born in 2001, September 2001.
September 2001.
Yeah, he's 21. He just turned 21.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm not that he's old by any
I'm not
stretch.
saying he's 25.
Yeah, he's still young, obviously. But
how old is Foden?
I'll have to look that up. Let me check.
23
but the other quarterfinal, Morocco, Portugal. Foden is 22. He was born in 2000. So.
Okay.
But yeah, Morocco, Portugal. This is crazy. I actually was watching this game at a Portuguese spot in the city with Boris. and mad Portuguese people. That shit was kind of awkward. I was like,
maybe they was gonna take their anger
You
out
were
on
like-
you.
yeah. I was like, well, shit. I know y'all don't know. I know y'all know I'm not Moroccan, so shit, y'all ain't gonna bother me. Like, if anything, they'd be like, all right, maybe he Angolan or something.
Turn up.
Yo, they were going crazy. Shout out to Joey Batts' mom, because she was serving these Portuguese sandwiches. Them shits was slapping. Sidebar. Anyway,
yeah, we had to get
That
this.
sandwich was slapping like that L they took.
facts. Yo, it was awkward, man. But you know what? The Portugal-Morocco game, the most interesting thing to me was, and I was arguing with Bortz about this, and he disagrees, but I still think this was the case. Bruno Fernandes was Portugal's best player throughout the tournament. Facts. He had his worst game against Morocco. And you could see for a while that he was off it. And it happens. You know what I mean? You could be the best player in the world and you're going to have a bad day. Everyone has a bad day. Maybe you could have switched him out, moved João Felix down, brought in Leao for somebody else. I thought there were different things they could have done. Portuguese people seem to think if you're not from Portugal, don't talk about our national team. All right? That's how y'all feel? Cool. Take your L. Go sit back and watch the tournament with the rest of us.
Come watch it with the rest of us. What is he talking about?
My question is, if you see someone struggling in a game in soccer, do y'all ride it out, or like do y'all? That's a why. But do y'all?
Sometimes
do y'all leave them in to keep playing, or do y'all
you
sub
leave
them?
in. Sometimes you leave him in for this. For example, the Brazil-Croatia game. Neymar was having a terrible game for 100 minutes, maybe. And then he had one moment of brilliance, and we thought that was going to be the moment, or that wasn't 100 minutes because that was in regular time. We thought it was going to be the moment that won the game for Brazil, but it turned out it wasn't. But the difference with Neymar and Bruno is, I think when Bruno has a bad game, he gives possession away like nobody else's business. Like there were times, I don't know if you saw it, JV. There was a couple passes he hit where it was like it just went straight out of bounds, and I was like, that wasn't even remotely close to coming close to who you were trying to hit that to.
Well, also,
I don't know what he be thinking, bro. Honestly,
sometimes his brain just be on fuck it mode, like
be like, all right, Hail Mary.
Yes.
My question though, is it also because of the positioning? Because isn't Bruno a center mid and then Neymar's more of a striker or a wing?
They're kind of similar, actually, position-wise, for their national teams. Okay. Club-wise, they don't. But for their national teams, they kind of play similar positions.
Yeah, that's a good point, Carl. Yeah. Because I think Bruno's more central in whatever he plays, and that's the most difficult place to have the ball.
Exactly.
Neymar usually starts with it. If say Brazil's trying to break down a team on the wing, you know what I'm saying? But he attacks through the middle, so it's that's a good point.
Yes, it's a slight nuance in position.
Yeah, I think Portugal had many different weapons. I just think their coach wasn't
up to par.
Wasn't up to par. Yeah, because I think they're a very dangerous team moving forward.
Facts. Let's breeze through these semifinals. We only got 10 minutes left in this episode. Argentina, Croatia. Surprised that Argentina won that one at all? Were you or nah?
No, no. But also, I kind of got tired of what Croatia was doing because they didn't want to attack too much, bro. And I understand because like their front line wasn't that great.
No, at all.
The midfield is amazing. Probably the best midfield in the tournament, to be honest with you. Brezovic, Kovacic, and Modric, super amazing. They've been like that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the fact that they lost Rakitic and still didn't miss a beat, really, is just
crazy.
It's just like compliment to how good they are as players. Yeah. So, I think it was about time. You know, they're a small nation, and they've done extremely well, and they've always been a good side in the 90s coming up now. So, shout out to Croatia. But it was about time, man. It was about time. Because I got tired of them, the way they were playing. Now you see Messi, you know. Let me just say this. Let me just say this, right? People says if Messi go to finals and lose, and he's not, bro. He's already the GOAT, bro. You understand? Like, Messi is not my favorite GOAT, but I know he is the GOAT. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so like I've been come to terms with that. People need to come to terms with it. Everybody needs to do. If you can't see, I'll let you borrow my glasses. You feel me?
So you saying Messi better than Ronaldo?
Oh, facts. Carl, listen here. Let me break it down to you. I know. Yeah, let me break it down to you because I know you're not a soccer player. You see, this is how I try to break it down. Ronaldo would be the perfect soccer player you would make. Okay? Left foot, right foot. He's tall, he's strong, he's fast. He may not have all these attributes anymore, right? But like, he could do everything. He could head, he could control. He's good. He's skillful at his peak of pops, right?
Mm-hmm.
Messi's short, diminutive. You know, he's not very physical. But like, you can't stop him. So you build the perfect thing, and then this guy with all these disabilities, like, you know, he's short. He's super one-footed. He barely uses right foot. But you have, on the other hand, you have Ronaldo. But even though you have that, you have this one guy. It's got to be God-given talent. You can't compete with it, because even if you built this monster, you still can't be better than this over here. You know, you see in what you call it.
It's like if Steph Curry was better than Bron, but he's not.
Yo, you seen what's that Michael Jordan cartoon movie, Space Jam? You see how they have the monsters and then build them and he's strong and different. But they still weren't ready to stop Mike, because Mike had everything, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's messy, bro. That is messy. He has everything, bro. But it's off one foot.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Because you know what he's gonna do, but you can't stop it. That's the most annoying.
And he's not like trying to put a bunch of step overs and skill moves. He just dribbling, bro. Like, it's like a
body
level
feints.
of dribbling. Oh my God, bro.
Yeah.
So give it up to Messi, and he's the GOAT. So whatever happens in the final, which I hope they lose, but yeah.
Is there? Well, we'll get to this quick because I want to get to the other half of the bracket. France, Morocco. Shout out to Morocco for being the first African nation to make it to the semifinals. Finally saw history in an African nation making it. Unfortunately, they ran across the French.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. This French team, with all their injuries, to make it back to another World Cup final.
That's crazy. No Pogba, no Kante, no Nkunku, no Karim Benzema, and they're still here. No Kimpembe, they still here.
Crazy. It's like there's something that's got to be said for Deschamps as well, to take them to back-to-back World Cup finals and to have won one as a player. Like,
yeah, facts.
That puts you
That's impressive.
Yeah, that's elite company. Whether they win or lose this final, that's very, very elite company.
Right.
This French team, man, something serious. So now we've made it all the way to the final predictions. Let's go ahead and let the people hear.
All right, so I know the French will be missing, because I've seen a couple articles saying that Kanote is not playing, Varane ain't playing, their center back Piran probably won't be playing, right? Who else? Tchouaméni won't be playing apparently because he wasn't in training. There's a virus going around in the camp, so that doesn't look good, because I think Tchouaméni is a very, very important piece of the Kingsley Coman. He hasn't really been on the field much, but that's still
that's depth
piece of the puzzle that's not gonna be there. Even that was said, bro. They have William Saliba on the bench. That only played maybe like 5 minutes, not like a half of football since he's been in the competition. Just to go to show you. I don't think it's because of him being bad or anything, because obviously he's not. It's the balance, because I think he's more of like the Varane in the back line, pause, instead of like the Kanote, you know, which is like super physical, and, you know, he's more of a Rolls-Royce. So it should be interesting to see how they move forward. But if the French could keep it together, I think going forward, if Tchouaméni plays and he's not injured, I think they have a good chance to win. I think they're the favorites to win. I know a lot of people want to see Messi go out with the World Cup, but I would love to see the French win, and, you know, an Arsenal player get a World Cup. So that's at the end of the day, that's what I was thinking. I think it's gonna be a cagey game at first, but as this guy Daniel Sturridge said, Mbappe, da, gili. He will score, yeah.
Yo, love it. I'm with you on that. I think the French are gonna win. One, I don't want to see Argentina win. Not that I hate Messi or anything. I just really don't like Argentina. There's a lot of players on that team that are very unlikable. Paredes, DePaul.
Facts.
I know he doesn't play much. I don't like Otamendi. Lisandro Martinez doesn't play much. Don't like him. Don't like Christian Romero. There are
Emi
a lot of
Martinez.
Emmy Martinez. Don't. Yeah, this is a lot of unlikable players. Carl, to put this in a perspective for you, I'll give an NBA comparison. They are the Phoenix Suns of the World Cup. But yeah,
Nah,
yeah,
I didn't realize that. I thought Argentina was cool. You know what I'm saying? You saw the guy
Nah,
ask
Messi's
him where
cool.
Messi
Everybody like
was,
Messi.
and
yeah.
then
It's
and then he came
Messi's
back,
cool.
and then he came back into Argentina fit. You seen that? You know the guy that was like, "Where's Messi? Where's Messi?" He came back in all Argentina fit. I thought that's how everybody was rocking.
A lot of people are, and I hate this argument everyone runs around with, like Messi is owed a World Cup. Like, just because
No
you're
one
the
is
best player of all
owed a World
time,
Cup.
yeah,
Nobody
no one
in this
is
world
owed a
owe you
World Cup.
nothing. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Carl.
nobody
Thank
in this
you.
world owe you nothing.
Thank you. And that's how I feel about it. And I would love to see Mbappe with 2 World Cups by the age of 23, because then we are witnessing the rise of. Sorry, I might have froze, but I would love to see Mbappe have 2 World Cups by the age of 23, because then we would be witnessing the rise, in my opinion, of a potential GOAT. At the very least, he gets put in that conversation, even if he doesn't surpass Messi as being the GOAT eventually.
It's like
2
Kobe.
World Cups where both times you beat the greatest player of all time to get to the World Cup or to win it. Something's got to be
Yeah.
said for that.
It's like
Yeah.
Kobe getting his 3 rings with Shaq. That kind of how it would be.
It might be Jordan with 6, honestly, like, because to win 2 World Cups in your career alone.
I'm
puts
just
him
saying
in
like
elite
with
company.
the age. I'm saying like with the age. Him being 23.
It could be, but even then, by the age, like it's hard to compare it, because you only get the opportunity to do it once every 4 years, you know.
Yeah. So,
So
doing it at 19 and then 23 is nuts. And
Yeah.
also, it's not that he's been super present in both the World Cups he played in. You know, he scored in the final last year, no? Not last year, last
he
World
was
Cup.
very good for France, though. He was a very, very good piece for them.
Right. And he was really at it. And this tournament, he's been at it. So,
He's the
it
guy
should
now.
yeah, it should be interesting. And I also, just for the sake of the game, right? The matchup should be interesting, this game. Because I don't know what they got planned, but I know it's going to be very dark arts, a lot of nasty tackles, trying to put three players to mark him. But if they try to go that route, I think the French are gonna hurt them, because Ousmane Dembele is bound for one of those games.
Yes, that's
He's
what I was just
a
gonna
very
say.
dangerous man.
Yes.
Okay, he looks focused. He's looked focused for about a year now. And when
Ever
he's
since he got married, he's been a different man.
wife avec glamity.
Yo, I agree. I feel like this is the game that he finally breaks out, and he's that guy. He might be. I want to see Mbappe score 1, so that way Mbappe gets the Golden Boot and Ballon d'Or, because I really just want to see the rise of a new great. Last match of the tournament, which is actually taking place tomorrow, round of 3rd place matchup. Quick prediction, and then we're going to give tournament MVP predictions quickly before we head out.
I would love to see Morocco win versus Croatia tomorrow, just for the sake of history. I know some. I can't speak for a lot of Moroccans, but I've seen a lot of people from the Arab world speaking about Morocco and how they're not from the Arab world, and vice versa. People say Morocco is a part of the Arab world. They're not claiming Africa as proudly as they should. But I've seen some Moroccans saying that people a part of the Arab world need to leave them alone, because they don't claim them to be a part of it. So it's pretty interesting how politics get drawn into football, and just because the team is doing well. Nevertheless, it's on the continent. Our brothers, you know what I mean? Some of them may be misled. Some of them may not be. But nevertheless, we're hoping for the best. You know what I'm saying? Casablanca now, fire no blank. Okay.
I hear that. I'm with you on that. I want to see Morocco win. One, I would love to see Ziyech come back to Chelsea full of confidence. I hope Potter plays him. And I would love to see, African side finish 3rd. And also, shout out. I got a couple Moroccan friends. Shout out to my guy Hamza. Love to see Morocco take it. So, quick tournament MVP pick is.
All right. So I'm gonna say, Mbappe, down. Gilly.
You had that win or
He will score. Yeah. Huh?
You had that win or loss, or because you think France is going to win?
I think France is gonna win, so I think he'll get it. But if Messi put up one of those games and lose or win, he's gonna get it. I think it sways that because I think the last World Cup Messi got the Golden Ball because he put up one of those games. This World Cup coming up, the final, I think Mbappe might put up one of those games and win it instead of losing. So it should be very, very interesting, though. The crowd gonna be
crazy.
90% Argentinian fans.
Yo.
You know, them chants are kind of crazy. I may be the Nazi in them that's trying to do all this. That's why it's so well routine. But you know, it is what it is.
That's crazy, but that's funny as hell. I would love to see. I think that Mbappe wins Golden Boot. I think Messi ends up winning the Golden Ball. Even if Mbappe outscores him in the final, I think Messi having more assists than Mbappe. If he finishes with more assists, I think they want to give Messi. They'll want to give it to Messi. I feel like they'll force feed us Messi as the tournament MVP. And probably if Messi ends up being tournament MVP, he'll probably win the Ballon d'Or. Even though I'd like to see the crowning of a new king, because to me this reminds me of when Pele was young and coming up, and it was like you were watching the young king ascend and kind of take the throne. So that's what I would love to see. But we will see come Sunday who is our new World Cup champions. Will we see the French repeat, or will we see it head to South America? And for the first time in how many years? Since 2002, right? That we'll have seen a non-European champion. So,
wow, that's true. We had Italy, we had
Germany.
No, we had Italy, Spain.
Italy, Spain, Germany.
Italy, Spain, Germany, France.
France, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been some time since we've seen a European side not take home the trophy. So maybe we'll see it, maybe we won't. Stay tuned. But one thing I do know is this has been another great episode of Banter with the Brothers FC. We'll catch y'all next time.
All right, deuce.